Call this meeting to order. They all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joyce?
Mayor Calvadas?
Here.
Mr. Kapadas?
Here.
Mrs. Passio?
Here.
Mrs. Moore?
Here.
Mr. White?
Here.
Mrs. Kelly?
Here.
Mr. Root?
Here.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Bayshore?
Here.
And Mr. Wright.
Here.
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. 1, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 7, 2013. 2, emailed to the retrospect in the Courier Post on January the 7th, 2013. Approval of minutes. Motions in order to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion. I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Joyce.
We have a report of the construction official for the month of April. A total of $8,127 was collected in various permits and fees. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the police chief for the month of April. A total of $173.85 was collected for various accident discoveries, solicitor reports, over requests, and firearm permits. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the borough clerk for the month of April. A total of $6,416.80 was collected for various licenses and permits, including pet licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the municipal court for the month of March. A total of $15,250.24 was collected, and all these monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the fire marshal for the month of April. Total fire fees collected $2,660. There were 71 total inspections, 528 incidents, 4 type 1 permits issued, and April EMS fees collected $26,588.62. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the registrar of vital statistics for the month of April. The total of $3,328 was collected for various death copies, marriage copies, and a marriage license. We have the report of the tax collector for the month of April. A total of $1,265,321.97 was collected in taxes, and in sewer, $59,739.60 was collected. All that.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Communications.
Okay, we have a letter from Governor Christie informing the mayor that Runnemede would be receiving $200,000 in state aid to resurface Reed Avenue. Okay, the other letter is from Ron Hall. This was a note to Chief Diana thanking the chief, Captain Daly, and their officers for their assistance resolving a recent problem.
Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to receive.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I would like to say I'd like to thank Ed White and Brian for helping us get the money for the roads to finish to help with Reed Avenue. Thank you very much for your ordinance.
We have 4 public hearings. First public hearing is ordinance 1304, amending, this is an ordinance amending ordinance 430, chapter 106 of the Code of the Borough of Runnemede, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 13, Schedule 1. This is removing a handicap spot that is no longer necessary. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only may step up to the microphone and give their name and address.
Seeing no one, I make a motion that we close the public portion.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And roll call.
Motion.
Motion to adopt.
Somebody make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Now what?
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
That's 6 ayes.
Yeah. I motion to adopt on second and final reading. Okay?
Did you say the ordinance?
The ordinance is approved.
Ordinance 1305 is an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. This is a public hearing also. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only may step up to the microphone and give their name and address.
Seeing no one, I make a motion that we close the public portion of the meeting.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law. Now, first motion.
I make the motion. I second it.
Roll call. Roll call.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
And Mr. Root.
Yes.
That's 6 ayes.
Thank you. Now, the ordinance is adopted.
Ordinance 1306, this is an ordinance amending chapter 106-20 entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Schedule 6, stop intersections in the Borough of Runnemede. This is putting the stop sign at Fifth and Bowers. And this portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only, they step up to the microphone and give their name and address.
Seeing no one, I make a motion that we close the public portion of the meeting.
Second it.
Motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
Make a motion. I've been making motions all night. I make a motion.
You make the second, right?
These are all your ordinances.
They are.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
That's 6 ayes.
Ordinance. Ordinance is adopted.
Ordinance 1307, this is an ordinance amending chapter 316 of Article 3 of the Borough of Runnemede Code. This alters our yard waste ordinance.
Motion to adopt.
This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only, they step up to the microphone and give their name and address.
Seeing no one, I make a motion that we close the public portion of the meeting.
All those in favor?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
No.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell.
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 no.
Now this ordinance is adopted. Committee reports.
Oh, thank you. Finance, Personal Administration. one thing I wanted to bring up, we have a formally signed contract from our CWA union, but council hasn't had an opportunity to read it, even though both our business administrator and our attorney have reviewed it. We'd like to at least give council the opportunity to read the contract. So one of the things I'd like to, I think it should be ratified. I think it's something that's been worked on for over a year. It expired. When did it expire? 2011? 10? 10. It expired, and so I think this council should at least review it. I think it's a good contract, but I think everyone should review it. And I'm going to ask everyone if we could put on our agenda to have a special meeting on May 15th to ratify this contract. As long as we have a majority of council and everyone has an opportunity to read it. You know, does anybody? It's a Wednesday night next week. The reason for having a special meeting and trying to get this done is we do have, it does affect the personnel in the borough, our employees. We need to get it done as quickly as possible to help them out. And we do have an obligation to read it, so we read it, and as long as everyone's okay, hopefully on the 15th we get together. Would anybody like to say a time? It's a Wednesday, 5:30, 5? 6? 5?
I may not
5:30?
be here, so
Okay. We need 4 members, a minimum of 4.
I can't vote it.
Ed, are you able to be here at 5:30?
We'll see what the day brings.
Okay. Mike?
Yes.
And Tyler? And
Yeah, I can.
That can, and
I may not be here either.
I can.
I mean, as long as 4 of us show up, so it would be, you know, as long as, if there's a problem, Ed, let us know. We can always push it back a little bit and things like that. But we can advertise for a special meeting on May 15th. And then I just wanted to remind everybody that we have a budget hearing. Our public portion of the budget will be on, we're going to have it on our caucus meeting, which is May 28th. It starts at 5 o'clock. We will be doing our caucus, and we'll move right into the budget portion of it. Hopefully, if anyone has any questions about the budget, to come out that evening and see it. There'll be a formal presentation. And that'll be our normal starting time for the caucus, and then this way we'll get through the caucus and we'll work right into the budget. It should be a nice presentation, and if there's any questions. Other than that, I'd like to report progress.
Thank you. Health, education, and welfare, Ed White.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, April 26th, I went to the EA basketball and had a beautiful turnout. They did a good job. And today I had the opportunity to go to Trenton with the Youth Mayor and Council. Kids were all great. We had a good time. Other than that, we're progress.
Thank you, Ed. Eleanor?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. During the month of April, the police department made 126 arrests. They are very proactive and are making the drug dealing that's going on in town something of the past. People now know that we're on the street, we're looking, we're watching. 521 arrests since the first of the year. Kudos to Chief Diano and his men. On another front, during the month of April, we had 86 calls for our EMTs. That's better than 2 to 3 calls a day for the 30 days in that month of April. We had 27 fires. So both of our public safety departments are doing wonderful work. I had the opportunity to tour the jail with the youth mayor and council representative, public safety director, Marissa Sermano, and she toured the jail and saw how our police are effective and how they work with the other departments to achieve the amount of arrests that they've had this past month. It was an interesting tour, and I will be at the firehouse with the public safety director from Youth Mayor and Council tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock, and we'll be touring the firehouse. If anyone was here at the opening ceremony, it was wonderful. Our young people are enthusiastic and very conscientious. It is a wonderful group to work with. That's it. I do have 2 motions that I need to make. The raffle licenses, games of chance, 50-50 on premise, Holy Child Parish. One for 6/24 and the other one for 6/29. All paperwork is in order and I need a motion. I'll make that motion.
I'll second the motion.
Yes.
Public event?
Yes.
All those, I didn't have the, all those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry about that. Mm-mm.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. My engineering committee met with our engineer on April 23rd and discussed many things, including giving us a proposal for services designed for a short-term improvement of the RYAA. Also, they will be putting out bids for North Reed Avenue and Orchard Avenue. The bathroom walls are going up, but again, slowly. The rest I will leave to Mark, our engineer. Youth Mayor and Council began on May 5th and will end on May 11th with the celebration and awards. And like Ed said today, we did go to Trenton and we had a tour of the Capitol and the State Police Museum. We ate lots of food. I think that they had a great time. Had a great time, guys? Yes. Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad. On Thursday, we will be going to Washington, and then Friday, we will be visiting Senator Norcross and have a pizza party. Memorial Day celebration will be held on Monday, May 27th at 12 noon, hoping that all of us will be attending. We are also reaching out to organizations for the 4th of July parade, so if anyone is interested in marching in our parade, please contact any one of us, and they will pass it on to me. I do want to recognize Bobby Bannister and Kyle Carabello. They're here tonight, and just stand up, and I just want to give you a They're great. Thank you. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Seth.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. Park and Recreation, I went out, inspected all 3 playgrounds this past month with a checklist. I have a repair list, going to make a repair order and get some of these, well, to get all the apparatus on the sites repaired and up to a good, nice, safe for the kids. We started putting together a summer rec program. I started to contact some of the employees for this year, and we're looking at different training programs for counselors this year to help them and help the summer rec be a little more fluent and smoother running this year. And other than that, report progress.
Thank you. Minister Richard? Oh, no, Beverly.
Thanks, Chair.
Public Works, thank you.
It must be good. Okay, on the note for recreation with the RY, we were able to take down the 3 trees that were down there, and it didn't cost us anything, I'm happy to report, not a dime. So they ground up the stumps, they took the trees away, with no cost to the borough at all. And it looks fantastic down there. Although I did have to say I saw a squirrel that was extremely upset because now the building's gone and the trees are gone and the poor little squirrel was So we also did purchase a new lawnmower for Public Works. The one that it is replacing will be kept as a backup, so I'm happy to report that, and that's made everybody very happy. And grass cutting has started. Hot patching has also started. Again, the weather's not being super cooperative, but they are out there and they have hit some big ones. They did hit one right down by the RY. That was a problem right there by Constitution. And we do have an endless list. If you all that are here tonight have any that need to be added to the list, please see me after this is over and I will add it, if it's not already on there. We've painted over the crosswalks where the public walks used to be on the other side of town. They have been painted over because they really serve no purpose since the walks aren't there any longer. We were able, with the help of the SLAP program and Public Works, to get all of the parking stops down at Harry Williams painted, and painted the posts at the entrance to the bike path. And I have, the only unfortunate thing I have to report is that we did have damage to one of our sewer trucks. Was hit off-duty. It was parked in front of the person that was on call's house, and someone hit it and did a fair amount of damage. And I think the truck is still in the shop. It's got to be assessed for the damage to the transmission possibly, because the person that hit it pushed it quite a distance. So we're back, we used the old sewer trucks back in business. But other than that, things are going well, and I will report progress.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And Richard, administrative report, Rich.
Yes, Mayor. I just have one update from the caucus. Obviously, we've already gone over most of the issues that we've gone through everyone else's reports. That is something we previously discussed, but I just want to repeat it, that the sewer project for CCMUA is basically on hold indefinitely while the CCMUA investigates, I guess, alternate procedures to have less environmental impact. That's the best way to put that. So they will reach out to us when they know what that process is going to be, and I have no idea what that may be. So just that the project is on hold at this point in time.
Will we be having another town meeting to discuss what they're going to be doing?
Probably not, because based on what I'm hearing, they're looking for some way to do it. It's not going to have any backlash. So.
Are they going to do any of the fair works that they had said they were going to do with public works?
Yes, they're still going to create that diversionary path for water. But as far as the public impact of when they're going to do it, it's unknown. At this point in time, they're continuing with their pumping and running for the small leak that they have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Progress.
Okay, Lee.
Progress.
I'm sorry. Engineer Mark, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I submitted my report in writing at last week's caucus meeting. A few things I want to go over that we haven't touched on yet tonight. Under general engineering, as the mayor mentioned, we did get the $200,000 for Reed Avenue Phase 2. Unfortunately, that's not enough money to do the entire road. So I'll be working with the engineering committee to come up with what limits we want to take on this go-round. And then we'll submit a proposal for our survey and engineering fees for that part of the project. The Camden County open space application was delivered to Camden County on April 5th. It was for, I don't know if you remember, what was for the soccer nets, the bleachers, and the equipment down at Beaver Branch Park. So that was submitted on time, and we'll let you know once we hear back from the county on that. As Councilwoman Passio said, we did submit a proposal for the short-term improvements down at RYAA, which included trying to get additional handicap parking down there, getting some ADA access to the fields, and we'll wait to hear from the committee or from council if you want us to take action on those. The emergency generator here at Borough Hall, we're still waiting to get some PSE&G invoices so we can determine what the electrical demand is from the building so that we can size the generator. And on the Borough Hall ADA access, to try and get an elevator to get to the 3 different levels of the building, our architects are working on a schematic plan. Right now they're leaning towards putting a vestibule outside of the construction office because there's 3 different levels we have to be able to get to. So they're trying to come up with a schematic for that. There's hopes of going through one of the storage rooms off the construction office, but there's too much electrical panel boxes in the way, so that idea went out the window. So we're regrouping with this vestibule idea. Reed Avenue and Orchard Avenue, we're getting ready to go out to bid. It's later in your agenda. We're trying to get consensus from council to go out to advertise that. If it gets approved tonight, it will be in Friday's paper. We will probably have a bid opening on the 24th, I believe, in time to report back at your next caucus meeting. And then hopefully at the June meeting, we'd be able to award that. The construction projects we had last year, they're all pretty much in the same phase. We submitted letters to the contractors about what the closeout requirements were. There's still some punch list items and then all the paperwork that they have to submit. I'm going to give them another week, and if not, then I'm going to start putting them on notice that they could be considered a non-responsive bidder for the next time they want to bid in town if they're not getting proper response. The Beaver Branch Park, we finally approved the irrigation well for the soccer fields. We've been going back and forth with what was submitted. They were trying some substitutes. We didn't like it, so we finally came to an agreement. That was approved today. We're waiting now to hear about what their schedule would be for putting the well in. They're still saying we need to get the electric part of that, so we're trying to work that out with the bathroom contractor as well. Tom Greenwald also did a punch list on the soccer fields for the work that's already been completed to date. We're going to have them reseed the fields because there's some bare spots out there, so they'll reseed and fertilize. There's also, I believe, some of the irrigation pipes, there's some settlement around there, so they're going to come out and fix those as well. In regards to the bathroom, the split-face block did finally arrive. The contractor started. We are still waiting on some change order information requested by the committee. He's trying to price the alarm, the camera, the electric door latch, and also, since now we're going to have a different mechanism for the door, Steve Bach wants to get a price to put heat in there, because originally it was only going to be a 3-season bathroom because we were going to have the door locked in an open position, and the bathroom couldn't function during the winter that way. Now that we're going to have a different locking mechanism, we might be able to have heat down there if the cost is agreeable to the borough. So they're currently pricing those options out. And on the old 2011 road program, we're trying to close that out with the solicitors working with their bonding company and where to go from here. But I also got a call today from John Gunn saying he thinks there might be some missing no parking signs along Singley Avenue. We're checking into our pre-construction videos, and if that's the case, we can get them reinstalled with the $16,000 that we're still holding out on that. So we're going to check into those pre-construction videos just to make sure they were there and now that they're missing. The side egress door, that project will get taken care of when we do the vestibule. And the Public Works garage, our licensed site remediation professional made a site visit on April 8th, and we're waiting on their plan of action and a proposal to take care of that work.
I did see a proposal. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
I like it.
Chief shared a draft with me and I forwarded it. I think the official report is not up.
Oh, that's not the official. Okay.
And I'm always the last to hear if it goes through.
I want you to apologize.
It's like 3 days off, it's done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was going to ask you if you were going to make a recommendation if we should.
I have not seen it, and like I said, if it comes to Steve, I'm always the last to
Sorry
hear.
about that.
So that's okay.
Send me a copy.
Well, he's fine.
And that's all.
But against.
Mark, can I ask you one?
Yes, you may.
Does any of the options down at the bathroom at the RY, is that opening up the contractor from doing the stonework?
If we insulate the block, I think that's what is the issue. If we put the heat in, obviously you want to put insulation. Right now, we don't have any insulation called out on the plans. It was just going to be 3-season. And so now originally we were going to just winterize the pipes, and you don't have to worry about anything freezing. But now, if we're going to have it open year round, we would want to heat it and get insulation, and we'd have to insulate the block walls and the ceiling, so that they basically put vermiculite down in the cores of the masonry.
So basically, you're going to extend their contract out.
Yeah,
How
they're,
long you wait until you get your information on in place, or?
right. I mean, right now, the proposed deadline was going to be June 10th, but there's delays with trying to figure out what we're going to do down there. So when we do a change order, we'll
You have an idea of when? Any thoughts, like would it be July sometime?
If we get a quick response to the cost, and then we can get it approved, a consensus of council or however, whatever we do, maybe if we get a cost, we might be able to look at it on May 15th if you have a council meeting that night. But I can't predict anything that I don't know what the future's going to hold.
So the contractor with the fields, though, he's going to reseed
Yes.
and fertilize, so we won't have to fertilize that.
You got to order.
But we have to get water down
And we're
there.
not gonna have the electric.
So the well and the electricity, you need the electricity.
Well, we're going.
The bathroom contractor's doing the electricity.
Running the electricity, and Steve's already talked to them about if we have to run temporary electric out there, that's probably what we would do, because the conduit is 90% in place. We still have to get John Gunn to make the final connections out there
Right.
on Detmer Terrace.
Right.
And then once that's in, we can run the electrical and set up a
The water
temporary.
connected, the water is connected at this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
For the bathroom.
You're not
The
using,
bathroom.
you're not using city water for.
Yeah.
The well.
But I'm saying we ran that one
And the well
pipe.
was
But
approved.
all,
We still have the sewer line to do and the.
right, all the piping stuff
the
at
electric.
Detmer Terrace.
Yeah,
and
what
it
are
has
they?
to-
I just talked to them about it today, and they said that they're just waiting for the hookup, that's what they're waiting to do. So it's just connecting it, everything's laid, ready to go, it's just connecting, whatever you have to connect
Well,
out
yeah,
there.
about maybe 50 feet or so.
Yeah, they have to, they cut that out.
Sewer pipe and about
They're aware of it.
54,000.
I mean,
When are they gonna do it?
I didn't get a date.
But they know.
We are waiting on John, no, I mean, we're waiting on the
Well, we
word
have
from
to go
John.
for the approvals for the bathroom. So.
That doesn't affect the.
I mean, yeah, you get that in.
No, yeah, we need
Because
public
like you said, we
works.
have water, so the bathroom, we don't need.
Well,
I'll try to get
you're
it
not
done.
having-
Okay.
Well,
All right,
the point
thank
is
you.
the well.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
The electric to the well.
Yes, we need to get electric to the well.
Where's the
So-
well being located?
Right behind it.
Right behind it.
Between the bathroom and the large
And
soccer
the
field.
bathrooms don't supply the well. So you gotta get the electric to the building.
But if we have to set up a temporary panel, we can do that once we run.
It's our
the
water.
electric.
It's concerned about water. Okay.
Tomorrow I'll see what I can find out.
All right, and that's all I have to report unless there's any other questions.
Thank you. Mr. Wood would like a few minutes for time.
Just informational, you have a, just a draft of an RFP for municipal court collection. SDAOC, in their infinite wisdom, said that I need to do this, so here it is. There's a blank on the front page, because it's going to be the return date, so obviously that's not in here. And the last page is incomplete, because the last page is where you would list how many cases you were turning over to this potential collection agency, and what the volume of the fines would be. So that appendix would say 268 cases, $752,968, whatever it is. So at whatever point council wants to approve that, and then pick a date, Joyce can publish it. There's only a couple companies that do this.
We actually did approve it for this meeting.
I think we just have to work for
For you to work on.
me to work.
Yeah, I think we put in for advertising. I think we should read it, look at it, and then maybe we bring it back.
I just forgot that it was here, it's technical in my report, so now I'll drop it.
Okay. Thank you. We're up to the resolution. Old business.
Well,
Old business, any old business? We don't have any. Public comments? Public comments on agenda items.
yeah, I'd like to just explain, this is something new that we're added. If you remember at the last council meeting, we thought that it was important. We're going to be voting on about 15 resolutions, and there's no opportunity for the public to speak about those resolutions before we vote on them. So at this point, if anyone would like to speak about any of the resolutions that are coming up, this would be the opportunity. So the meeting right now would be open to the public for any comment on the resolution. Seeing no one, I make a motion that we close the public portion.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is
Yeah.
new business resolution 3.
Resolution 1371 is a resolution endorsing the submission of the 2012 municipal recycling tonnage grant application to the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and Energy. This is something to do with
Make a motion for the resolution.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I move the resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1372 is a resolution certifying the submission of expenditure of taxes paid on solid waste. This is
I so move.
Second. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Roll Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1373 is a resolution authorizing the release of a folder insert.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Roll call. Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
6
I move
ayes.
this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1374 is a resolution authorizing the place-to-place and person-to-person transfer of a plenary retail consumption license. This is the wall.
Motion.
I'll make the motion.
So move.
Roll call.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1375 is a resolution regulating the salaries of the employees of the Borough of Runnemede for 2013. This is setting the salary for the code enforcement officer. Or the zoning, what are we calling it? Zoning?
Code enforcement. So move.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mr. White.
I just want to question, we're set for the hourly rate for this guy?
It's $20 per hour. It's on the resolution.
Yeah, all right. No.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
That's 5 ayes and 1 no.
I move this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1376 is a resolution authorizing the sale of borough property through an online auction. This is the Jeep Cherokee that was confiscated.
Motion.
I so move.
I second.
Roll call.
Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
And Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1377 is a resolution confirming 2013 appointments. To the police department, we have 3 substitute crossing guards: John Joseph Kelly, Anna Kelly Williams, and Charlene Wagner. To the fire department, we have Mr. Joseph Kelly as a part-time EMT.
Can I have a motion?
I so move.
I second it.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
The next is Resolution 1378. This is a resolution authorizing the placement of the property maintenance lien.
Can I have a motion?
I so move.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mrs. Keller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
6 ayes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
This is Resolution 1380. This is a resolution authorizing adjustments to sewer accounts.
Can I have a motion?
I so move.
I second it.
Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. White.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Capadas.
Yes.
That's 6 ayes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
Resolution 1381 is a resolution approving participation with the state of New Jersey in the Safe and Secure Community Program administered by the Division of Criminal Justice Department of Law and Public Safety.
Motion.
I make a motion.
I second it.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
And Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Gladys?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
And Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
I'm really doing it.
I move that this resolution be adopted.
Request authorization for the clerk to advertise for bids for the reconstruction of Reed and Orchard Avenue.
I make the motion.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Is that all you need?
That's all I need. Thank you.
First.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Yeah.
And now we have first reading for ordinance 1308. This is an ordinance amending ordinance 12-04, schedule of fees established for the summer recreation program. I don't know, Mike, if you want to explain how that program is going to be 6 weeks?
Yeah, what we'd like to do is, right now the recreation program runs for 4 weeks. We'd like to extend it to 6 weeks. We got a little feedback last year, making it longer. So we'd like to amend it to just make it longer, make it one price for everybody. Just come and go as you want with your kids within 6 weeks. I think it would be good for the town to run into August a little longer. So, any questions?
The fees, what's the difference?
$60. It's in the ordinance.
It's in the ordinance.
Okay, what was it next year?
It just added the 2 weeks.
Yeah, but what was the cost?
$10.
Oh, so-
Last year was $10 a week.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't changed.
It didn't change.
It's not more expensive.
Still $10 a week.
If you recall, last year, what we did is we did $40, and then we added 20, so I think what Mike's trying to do is just do this one time.
Maybe 60, and then
For the 6 weeks.
you just come and go as you want. You don't have to do the whole 6 weeks, but it's going to cost $60. Yeah, we don't have to manpower it. It's basically check people in as they come.
Now, is this for just kids in town or kids from outside of town?
You have to have a report card from the Borough of Runnemede School.
Okay.
That's the proof. You have to be within a
To bring
certain age.
a bill showing.
And a bill that shows you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's all done through the clerk's office. I do have one question, because I'm assuming you're going to want to start collecting money for this. It says that we would have a meeting till May 5th. How much time do we need between 2 readings so that can we do this on how quickly can we do an ordinance between the first and second reading? What's that? Well, if he wants to start collecting the money ahead of time, because the program, when, did you have an idea when you were going to start collecting?
Thinking about going early. We wanted to do it earlier this year. So,
I remember we had a hard time getting,
yeah, I wanted to do it by mid to the end of June.
We're hoping for like
other than the 5th is fine? Okay, well then I make a motion to adopt on first reading and advertise according to law with a public hearing to be held on the 5th day of June, 2013, and a meeting beginning at 7 p.m.
I second that.
And then roll call.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mrs. Keller?
Because of the,
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
6 ayes.
6.
Yeah, June 5th is Wednesday, right?
Yes.
It's election day.
And the reason that the primary is on the 4th.
Yeah, okay.
Payment of bills.
I make a motion that we pay the monthly bills.
I second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Passios?
Yes.
Mrs. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. White?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
I move this resolution be adopted.
The bill is paid.
Pay the bills.
Paid for.
Payment of bills. Sorry about that. This is the good welfare portion. Anyone wishing to speak, could you please come up to the mic, state your name and address?
Hi, good evening. My name is Pastor Joe Fortunato, and I pastor Faith Fellowship Ministries of Southern New Jersey. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce myself. We're holding services presently. We've been in the Runnemede Suites and Hotel We've been there on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. And so it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. So we have a congregation of about 50 to 75 people. And so I just wanted to make ourselves available to the community, if there's anything that we can do as far as any kind of volunteer work, any kind of help that we can do, cleaning up trash, helping in a park, shoveling snow, whatever, like that one. But yeah, anything that we can do to just be a help to the community. We'd like to make ourselves available to all of you, and we just wanted to say hello. And it's a real privilege to be here in your city. So I just want to thank you. And Jeremiah 29:7 says, to seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you, and pray to the Lord on its behalf. For in its welfare you will have welfare. And so that's what we believe in. I just believe in being a blessing, being the hands and feet of Jesus, and just helping people. So any way that we can, just be glad to help out.
Pastor, will you leave your information with us?
Yeah, I left it with Mrs. Passio.
I didn't have that. How long have you been in the inn?
We've been there since we were there about 2 weeks before Easter Sunday, and so we've been there since then. We started.
Are you looking for a permanent place?
At some point,
Residence?
we're just deciding where we want to go. We're just basically praying, and this is where we're going to stay for a while. We were in Borough, Rowan University, for 8 years. We had a building with 5 acres of land, and so we just decided we wanted to move out of that area. So, so I just wanted to say hello to all of you. If there's anything we can do, we'll definitely be praying for you.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
And we will get in touch with you, sir.
Thank you. And I just also wanted to say, when I go home, I'm going to make a motion to my wife to pay our monthly bills. So I'll see if my kids give an eye on that one. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor.
Nobody seconded that.
My name is Kyle Carvalho, and I'm a student at Mary Votes, and I have a question for Mr. Root. What activities are we going to be doing at Summer Rec?
What we're gonna, I probably can't answer that right now, Kyle, because I haven't interviewed the head counselor yet. I'm going to interview the Eric from last year and anybody else that I get interested in the job. So I'm going to leave it up to the counselor, the head counselor, to set up the rec program. If it is Eric, I can imagine it's going to be the same as, did you attend last year?
No.
No? Well, what we're going to do, look for it at the school. As soon as we get a criteria down, I'm going to put a pamphlet out at the school, and it will probably have a list of activities that are going to be at the rec.
All right.
Okay?
Do you have a suggestion?
Probably basketball tournaments or something.
That'd probably be pretty good. Since the Summer Rec's held at a basketball court, I think you're good. You're going to be pretty good with that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Kelly, 756 West 3rd. Only one question, I have two questions really. One is there any kind of ordinance on the people, the way they keep their lawns or property,
Yes,
even if it's abandoned?
yes.
Yes.
The house on 768 West 3rd Avenue, right at the corner of Detmar.
Okay.
My golden retriever can get lost in it, and
Okay.
he's 92 pounds.
I'll put it to Public Works because they,
And there is somebody working on that property. I've seen people, they've ripped out carpets, they painted in there, they installed carpets.
This is the corner of Detmar and West Third?
Right.
Yeah, the chief of police has already,
Yeah, the Mark, yeah,
okay,
I live behind Mark.
okay, Mark already,
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem like nothing's
I'll
getting.
take care of it, I'll make a phone call tomorrow.
It's been there, I guess, from last year. They kind of one time last year. I guess that was after we
It was
complained.
empty though, wasn't it? Empty?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
empty.
been, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, there is somebody working in there.
Okay.
Not every day, but like I said, I've seen them rip out the carpets. The carpet's been put down to the trash. I've seen a truck come in and they install carpeting. And my second question is about the new fields that we're making back in Green Acres. The little field behind the bathrooms and the storage, is that going to be a soccer field?
small-sided for either soccer or for flag football.
Well, some of the kids will have to wear floaties on their arms. You gotta get down there for a heavy rain. I do it because I walk the park. And when I cheat, I go halfway around. I go around and come back by the new field, up that, where it says splits between the basketball and the new field. So it gets kind of soggy there. That's it. Have a good night.
Thank you, Kelly.
Bobby Baxter.
Talk into the mic.
A little closer to the mic. There you go.
What's your address, son?
625 Williams Ave. I actually had a question, now I forget what I was going to ask.
Okay. Take your time.
Did you have fun today, Bob?
I didn't go.
You didn't go? Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe that was your fault.
Hello, my name is Dan Fleury. F is in Frank, Kelly, L-U-R-Y, and I live at 900 East Clements Bridge Road here in Runnemede. I'm a small businessman for about 30 plus years, and born and raised in the town here. And recently, I have a problem. I let my dog licenses lapse because we had a bunch of unexpected bills that came in, and so that was one of the ones that wasn't totally expedient at the moment. So, so I thought, you know, what are they going to do? Well, they sent out a letter saying you know, they're going to have the police department send me a summons to appear in court if I don't now pay a $20 fine on top of that. So I have 2 dogs, and that comes to about $85 for 2 dogs. And so I went downtown, and a couple of weeks ago, since I was only a couple of weeks late, I asked Joyce Pinto if you know, she could just waive the $20 per dog fee, and she said, no, you're already in the system, and there's nothing you can do. So I said, well, I got the 4440 right now. We can take care of this. She said, no, there's nothing you can do. The council, it's a borough ordinance, and the council voted on it. And she turned around and walked away from me. So I'm like, all right. So if I don't respond to this thing, it's probably a bench warrant for my arrest if I don't show up to court, all over a stupid dog license thing. So if I cough up another $40 for this, the 2 dogs on top of the $22.20, it comes to about just under $85. Now, I'm a good guy. I'm a concerned citizen. When I go around town, I pick up trash, and I cut, trim away vegetation that encroaches on sidewalks and everything. And all of a sudden now, I'm like a fugitive. And the thing is, at this point, I'm not paying $85 for 2 dogs. So I don't know what to do. I would like to ask you guys if you could just waive this exorbitant fee, because you know, you know, there's so many other things that go on in town that are a lot worse, and so I'm just asking, because at this point I'm not paying $85 for 2 dogs, so I don't care what they do to me. You know, I don't know. So,
well, unfortunately, council's powerless to do anything about this. This is an existing borough ordinance. The only thing that could happen is, moving forward, they could eliminate the ordinance or change the ordinance, but the ordinance is law in the borough.
yeah.
Now, I heard what you said, and I know you're frustrated, and you think that this is unfair, and you said it was a stupid dog license. Well, stupid or not stupid, it's the law of Runnemede. Right. And the police and the municipal court in Runnemede are charged with enforcing the law, whether it be Runnemede's law or the state of New Jersey's law. So I can't give you legal advice, but I will suggest to you that the attitude that I'm not paying the money may not be your best attitude, because you're exactly right. If you don't show up, right, it's a summons. The next thing the municipal court will have no choice but to do is to, in fact, issue a bench warrant for failure to appear. Not a fun thing, not something I suggest that you want to experience. You can certainly I'm sure when you go to municipal court, you can ask the judge. He has the power to make potential adjustments, and he also has the power to allow you to go and work out a payment plan, schedule, if it's a little bit tough for you to come up with it all at once. But there's nothing that this council can do because it's an already existing ordinance.
Well, I called around. Barrington is only 12, Belmar is only 10. At night is only 9. Is there some way I can work about getting that fee? You know, it just seems to be a little higher than it needed to be.
It's the ordinance would have to be changed. The council would have to want to decide to review and change the ordinance. And if they changed it, if it was on today's agenda, it would be effective tomorrow. It would have no impact on what's happened to you.
Right.
But if that's up to council, if they, in the future, if they want to change their ordinance. But if the ordinance exists, and that's the one that we're all stuck with that one right now and yesterday. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I remember my question. Is there any camping grounds in Green Acres?
No.
Do you think there could be, like, if the local scout troop, like, if the scout troop were to only camp out in Green Acres, could the council think about building a camping ground?
Some log cabins.
We could consider that.
Bobby, tell you what I'll do. I'll look into the laws behind Green Acres, and because Green Acres is a protected area and all, and I'll see what we can do for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay?
Also, I had another question around that one was.
I was going to write this down. You'll remember. Al Palisano, 831 North Oakland Avenue. I know from coming to council meetings that yard waste is no longer picked up in plastic. Correct. It's got to be open. However, a lot of my neighbors don't come to council meetings. How about we notifying the resident? I mean, like, especially new people. Do we put a, even if it was a big sticky on the bag that says?
Well, that's
I'll address that for sure. We ordered big stickers for the bags, and I just spoke to Joyce about it today, and I said, where are the stickers? And UPS has lost the box. So now we are in the process of reordering the stickers with hope that we're going to have them by the end of the week. We should have had them by now. And it is a large orange sticker to break it down, to say. But it is on the website, and quite honestly, if they're not picking it up, they've been instructed, and John, the supervisor, the acting supervisor down at Public Works, there is a tag that they're trying to put on the door, just let people know what the requirements are. And if the people need a container, a recycling container of some sort, we'll be happy. They can just contact Public Works and tell them that they need a can, and the can will be given to them. That's not even an issue. But yes, we have stickers somewhere. Stickers somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where.
Thank you.
And Val, I was at the senior meeting, and I did talk to the seniors about the new ordinance that was coming up, and I showed them the brown paper bag, and you weren't there. So, yeah, so I did tell all of that.
Because I called two of my neighbors who didn't get theirs picked up to tell them that's not the way to do it anymore.
And we're also, one of the things we did this evening was we just purchased, or we're leasing a machine that does our postage and folds our envelopes finally. And that will save us a couple hours. Yes, well, actually a couple of days. There will be a notification in the tax bill.
Very
So we're going to try.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Well, for the record, Dan Murray, 685 Detmark Terrace. Also for the record, I'm off duty. I just have to be right. June 1st, as some of you may or may not know, I'm a member of the fire department. So on June 1st, we're going to have a car show. I'd like to extend an invitation out to everybody. June 1st, from 11 till 4, I believe. And it's a fundraiser strictly for the fire department. We're going to have cars in both lots. We're going to shut down Second Avenue. We spoke to the chief already. We got permission to do that. Fire service, EMS service will not be interrupted. And just trying to do something different to raise money for the firehouse.
Sorry, Dan, what time again?
I believe it's 11 till
11 to 4.
4.
Awesome. Thank you.
And it's on the website, so June 1st, Saturday, June 1st.
Gonna have food?
They're gonna have food, they're gonna have sodas and ice water.
We will also put this on the Borough website. We can also.
Yes,
Any
anything?
information, write it up, we'll put it on the.
Okay, and we're, just so you know, we're sending stuff out to the schools, we're trying to make it like a kid-friendly type event, we're gonna let them give out shows to one of the cars, and, just to try to make it like a running event.
We're gonna be a moon bounce?
No. No moon bounce.
And then we'll have everybody park. You're closing the street, you'll have all the cars all over, where the people gonna park?
Well,
I
we're
mean, I
working,
don't mean it to be smart.
I know, we're working on, we're gonna have, plenty of volunteers there, and I'm working with Mr. Iannucci right now to get permission to swing cars in the backside of town.
Okay,
So I haven't got permission yet, but I'm working on that.
all right.
And I'm hoping to maybe use some more lock here as
Yeah.
well, and just it's close enough walk.
Yeah, well, people walk. When you
Yeah,
go for the fire
yeah.
prevention, they come for that.
Right,
That's awesome.
right, so that's what we're, okay, thank you.
Hang on. Thank you.
Seeing no one else, I make a motion, we close the public portion of the meeting.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.